Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to festival celebrating Srimati Radharani's appearance day. So we'll have a discussion about Srimati Radharani, so if everybody could just face this way. And then after the discussion, there'll be a presentation by Dravida Prabhu, some poetry. All right, so just sing Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Kunja Bihari. Okay, so we'll read a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, the Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 3, Pure Devotional Service, Text 23. So if everybody could please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Jivanchavo Bhagavatangri Renum Najatu Martyo Bilabeta Yastu Shri Vishnupadya Manujastu Lasya Shwasanchavo Yastu Naveda Gandyam. Okay, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulasī leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. So before we continue, Om Jnanatimirandasya Gananchana Shalakaya Chakshulanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karitivachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurundinitarinam Vanchakoptribishcha Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. All right. So, purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the breathing dead body is a ghost. When a man dies, he is called dead. But when he again appears in a subtle form not visible to our present vision, and yet acts, such a dead body is called a ghost. Ghosts are always very bad elements, always creating a fearful situation for others. Similarly, the ghost-like non-devotees who have no respect for the pure devotees, nor for the Vishnu deity in the temples, create a fearful situation for the devotees at all times. All right, so the purport goes on. I'll just say a few words, and then we could continue the purport. The Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, other books, they explain that we are not our body. We are pure spirit soul. But we have at the moment a gross body or physical body, and we also have a subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego. So when we talk about ghost, what's a ghost? A ghost is what happens, or how does one become a ghost? Generally, one becomes a ghost through one method is through suicide. They want to end their life or get rid of the physical body, and so they take their life or take their body, and they become a ghost, which means that the soul is there with the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, and false ego, but there's no gross body. There's no physical body in which they could fulfill their desires. So that's one method. Another method is if one is very attached to, for example, to a particular house, or sometimes you have people who are attached to like a castle in previous times. Of course, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that whatever we think of at the time of death, we become. Now, of course, if somebody thinks of their castle at the time of death, they can't really take a castle body, because that's not, within the 8,400,000 species. So what happens? The idea is that they take a ghost form within that castle. Sometimes it is understood, or it is seen, that castles or particular houses or properties are haunted. When we talk about the haunting of or we talk about ghosts haunting a particular place, there is a method for that, and that method is the chanting of Hare Krishna. Actually removes the ghosts. So sometimes Srila Prabhupada, he would hear about a particular property that might be haunted by a ghost, and he would say, buy it, because generally they sell it for cheaper. No one wants to buy it. So Prabhupada would say, buy it. We'll go there, we'll chant Hare Krishna, and we'll make a nice, beautiful temple for Krishna. There's a number of places where Srila Prabhupada did that. Once Srila Prabhupada's disciple asked him a question. He said that sometimes I feel as if I'm having thoughts or desires that aren't really characteristic to me, that they don't really feel like they're coming from me. And Srila Prabhupada, he commented to this devotee that that could be the influence of ghosts, because ghosts, they try to, because they don't have a physical body, they try to influence people, or they try to fulfill their desires by those who have a physical body. So if we look at that in relation to Krishna consciousness, because it's being mentioned here, ghost, Srila Prabhupada's mentioned in the purport, our original state is to be Krishna conscious, to love Krishna. So just as ghosts may influence someone to think a certain way outside of their nature, so similarly, the idea is that we also may be influenced to think outside of our nature of being Krishna conscious or devotees. And therefore, Rupa Goswami, he mentions this. He says that there are two witches dancing in the heart that haunt the living entity just like a ghost. Those witches are the desires for bhakti, or materialistic enjoyment without God, no conception of God, and the desire for impersonal liberation. And as long as one has these witches dancing in their heart or haunting one cannot fully experience the true nature of Krishna consciousness. But just as the chanting of Hare Krishna can relieve a house or castle or whatever of these ghosts, similarly, the chanting of Hare Krishna can remove these ghosts from our, witches from our heart. All right, so we'll continue the purport. The Lord never accepts any offering by such impure ghosts. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakti prachati, that if one offers me with love and devotion a fruit, a flower, a leaf, some water, I will accept it, if it's offered with love and devotion. But which is the real ingredient? It's the real thing that Krishna wants. Krishna has everything, but he appreciates this loving. He appreciates loving offerings. There's a common saying that one should first love the dog of the beloved before one shows any loving sentiments for the beloved. The stage of pure devotion is attained by sincerely serving a pure devotee of the Lord. The first condition of devotional service to the Lord is therefore to be a servant of a pure devotee, and this condition is fulfilled by the statement, reception of the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who has also served another pure devotee. That is the way of pure disciplic succession or devotional parampara. So the idea is that it's not recommended, it's not our process to approach Krishna directly, but we approach Krishna through his pure devotees. That's the principle of disciplic succession. So, for example, you have Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, and he has a teacher, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who has a teacher, going all the way back up to Krishna. So in this way, the service is offered through the parampara. And Srila Prabhupada's disciples, direct disciples, they also do the service of being a spiritual master and connecting devotees to the parampara, and this way connecting them to Krishna. Maharaj Rahugana inquired from the great saint Jad Bharat as to how he attained such a liberated stage of a Paramahamsa. And in answer, the great saint replied as follows. Rahuganai tat tapasana yati na chejaya nirvapana grihadva na chandasa naivajalangi suryar vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. O King Rahugana, the perfectional stage of devotional service or the Paramahamsa stage of life cannot be attained unless one is blessed by the dust of the feet of great devotees. It is never attained by tapasya, austerity, the Vedic worshipping process, acceptance of the renounced order of life, the discharge of the duties of household life. So they're covering all bases here. You can't do it by becoming a sannyasi. You can't do it by being a good householder. Or performances of penances in the hot sun. Can't do it by sitting out in the hot sun and meditating. Within cold water or before the blazing fire. You can't do it by submerging yourself in cold water. So the idea is we have to serve the devotees. In other words, Lord Krishna is the property of his pure unconditional devotees, and as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna is never obtained directly. So when Srila Prabhupada was in Madras, India, anybody from there? One person? Okay. Two? Maybe some shy people. Joseph, you're from Madras? All right. He was raising his hand? No. So Srila Prabhupada was in Madras, and he was meeting with some very important personalities there, in the material sense, but many leaders of that place. And Srila Prabhupada was explaining the mood of the 6 Goswamis. So the 6 Goswamis are the prime followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the prime disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who wrote so many wonderful books, like Rupa Goswami. He wrote his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which Srila Prabhupada translated as the Nectar of Devotion. So many wonderful books. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining how the residents or the 6 Goswamis, they're always looking for Krishna. It's not that they claimed I've seen Krishna, but they're always in that mood of separation, looking for Krishna, looking for Krishna. So that this chief minister, he gave Srila Prabhupada a beautiful deity of Krishna, a beautiful small form, silver Krishna. So while Srila Prabhupada was talking about this point, some of his disciples were around, Shamasundar, Malati, and they had the young girl Saraswati. She was 3 or 4 years old. So while Srila Prabhupada was speaking, he very slowly he put Krishna behind his back. He hid Krishna behind his back. And then Srila Prabhupada asked Saraswati, Saraswati, where's Krishna? and then she, because he was there just a minute ago, but then he disappeared. So then Saraswati is going, where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? So she's looking for Krishna, in front of this chief minister and all these people. Where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? And then her mother gave her a hint. Malati said, Saraswati, who has Krishna? And then she was looking around, and then she looked, she says, Prabhupada has Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada, he brought Krishna from behind his back, and Krishna was there. So this particular point that's being brought up in the purport is that the devotee of Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna, they have Krishna and they could give Krishna to someone. That's the idea. Like Prabhupada has Krishna and he could give Krishna. So by this particular instance, he was demonstrating even that a young child or can feel the separation from Krishna. All right, so we'll continue. Lord Chaitanya therefore designated himself as Gopi, Bhartu, Padakamalorya, Dasa, Dasa, Anudasa, or the most obedient servant of the servants of the Lord, who maintains the gopis, damsels at Vrindavan. So this particular verse, Lord Chaitanya says, I am not a brahmachari student, I'm not a householder, married person, I'm not a vanaprastha, I'm not a sannyasi, I'm not a brahman, kshatriya, vaishya. So he cancels out all these material designations that we tend to identify with. But he says, I am a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, who maintains the gopi damsels in Vrindavan. A pure devotee therefore never approaches the Lord directly, but tries to please the servant of the Lord's servants. And thus the Lord becomes pleased. And only then can the devotee relish the taste of the tulasī leaves stuck to his lotus feet. In the Brahma Samhita it is said that the Lord is never to be found by becoming a great scholar of the Vedic literatures, but he is very easily approachable through his pure devotee. In Vrindavan, all the pure devotees pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. Srimati Radharani is a tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, resembling the perfectional stage of the worldly feminine nature. Therefore, the mercy of Radharani is available for very readily to the sincere devotees. And when she recommends such a devotee to Lord Krishna, the Lord at once accepts the devotee's admittance into his association. So Srimati Radharani is as Srila Prabhupada says here, the tender-hearted feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole. So she represents the mercy aspect of Krishna. She's very merciful. So there, and devotees know that, therefore, still to this day, and especially in Vrindavan, they're always chanting Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Even persons who are the rickshaw wallas, the rickshaw drivers driving around, granted they are honking, but they're also chanting Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, honking, honking, Jai Radhe. So this is their communication, form of communication. Very blissful. For those of you who have been to Vrindavan, you know what I'm talking about. So Srimati Radharani is the merciful, extremely merciful. And when we talk about mercy, it means that even though someone may not be qualified, or someone may not be in some ways, qualified to receive some kindness or some mercy, still a merciful person will extend that kindness. So it says that the spiritual master in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that the spiritual master is said to be a representative of Lord Balarama or a representative of Srimati Radharani, very merciful personalities. So Krishna, he came in the mood of Srimati Radharani around 500 years ago in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us the highest form of Krishna consciousness, and also to give mercy to others. And Srila Prabhupada, fallen in that mood of mercy, he came to America to give Krishna consciousness, give the mercy of Krishna to everyone. Therefore, we're in this temple right now. So there's a wonderful occasion coming up, the month of December. So the month of December, since the beginning days of the Hare Krishna movement, has been a month that throughout the Hare Krishna movement, because there's temples all over the world, devotees have made a special effort to distribute mercy in the form of Srila Prabhupada's books, the founder of the Hare Krishna's movement's books. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, so many wonderful books are there. Because the main problem in the world is lack of God consciousness or ignorance, in which people are suffering. Much of the time mentally, like in America, sometimes may not be so much physical suffering, but there's a lot of mental suffering. So it's an opportunity for everyone to extend whatever resources they have in the form of money. You could sponsor books. If you don't want to distribute them personally, if you don't have time, if you're too busy, if you're shy, if you don't want to go out to the streets, or if you don't want to go out to the colleges, or maybe you're just too busy, whatever, then you could sponsor books. And we have a dedicated team, mostly, we have a number of devotees doing it. We have Govardhan, Dvijamani, a number of devotees in the congregation who go out to colleges and go out to different places. They set up book table in front of that, Miramar, cash and carry, different places. So you could sponsor books, and there'll be more information about that. But you could keep it in your mind. December is the time to try to help, especially. So does anybody, are there any questions or comments? Would anyone like to ask before? We have a little time, so if somebody has a question. Yes, Bhajanarayan Swami. Want to pass him a mic? As fast as possible.
Although you actually have given, now that I think about it, you've actually answered my question, so I'm sort of stuck. But what are some practical ways? You've given some that, okay, Radharani's merciful, give me mercy, give me mercy. But is it a one-way street? Is there anything
Definitely
that we
not.
can do to deserve that mercy? And what are some of the ways? I mean, you said serve the Vaishnavas, spread Krishna's mercy.
Yeah.
But I just wondered if you wanted to elaborate at all.
Okay.
Because nobody else has a question about how to spread Krishna. I mean, how to get Radharani's mercy, and what do we need to do to be qualified?
It's been a question in the realm of religion for a long time. Are we successful just by our effort alone, or are we successful by God's mercy alone? And there tends to be a one or the other type of mentality in the religious realm. You know, these religious guys sometimes tend to be extreme, right? So, but the idea is that it requires both. We need to show our effort, and we need to, and it's also a combination of Krishna's mercy or Srimati Radharani's mercy. So the example that's given is that, let's say, somebody, they have fallen into a well, right? Dark, deep well. And they're just stuck there. You can't get out. I mean, so a person may come along, which is, you could say, is like a savior, and they throw the rope down. Now, at that particular point, it's the person who's in the well. It's their responsibility. It's on them to grab that rope, and then they could be pulled out. They can't say, they can't look up at the bottom of the well and say, "Oh, please give me your mercy so I could, grab this rope and, you could pull me out." You can't say that. It's not logical. But they have to grab the rope, and then they'll be pulled out. So the idea is that we've been given the rope of bhakti. We've been given the process of devotional service. We hear about Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam. We hear about Krishna. We chant about Krishna. There's those who worship the deities on the altar. This is a form of devotional service where you dress the deities. You see the deities here with their beautiful flower outfits. That didn't happen automatically. It was a lot of effort. Devotees were here for hours and hours making these outfits. So this is devotional service, also the garlands and so on. So there's so many things we could do for Krishna, and that constitutes the mercy, or the way in which we get the mercy. The process to get the mercy is bhakti yoga. And a big part of this, or one part of this, is also extending the mercy of Krishna, like it was just mentioned, extending the message of Krishna. So I hope that satisfies you.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
All right, so now it is time for Javita Prabhu's poetry. We've all been waiting for this.
Hari Bol.
So thank you all. Hare Krishna. The lights are dimming. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimati Radharani ki jai. Shri Radhastami ki jai. Hari Hari Bol.